on the last episode of OlympusCraft. So let's go ahead and clear out a little bit of area, and I'm going to do a little bit of resource collecting. I don't want to destroy all of this tall prairie grass, so I've created a little platform here, cleared out a bunch of area here, and planted a ton of crops. We may put a building here, maybe we put some walkways here, I'm not sure, but I like just putting something down so that I can start to get an idea of what I want to do with this space. We've got farms, we've got sugarcane, we got old steers here, and we've got 30 levels. Do you know what that means? Well, if you're experienced with Minecraft, then you know that that should mean it is time to make an enchanting table and do some enchanting. Enchanting is a great way to move into the mid-game, get some better items, and it is time for us to do that. So I've got 15 bookshelves. That's how many we need to get a full 30 level enchant. All we need now is the enchanting table itself. So let's go grab some obsidian. And I'm going to assume that most of the people watching here are familiar with the basic vanilla enchanting, but you need 30 levels, and it'll give you a preview of what you can get. Unbreaking 3 is usually not the best, but let's just go for it. What I'm really looking for is Fortune, and we got Fortune 2, which is not a bad pickaxe at all. But yeah, Fortune 3 is kind of what we're looking for. But this will allow me to do some more mining, get more levels, and more resources. You may have also noticed that I'm keeping these episodes a little bit shorter than I have in the past. I find that the most retention rate on my videos is when I make them about 10 minutes long, so that's what we're shooting for. What is this? Corn! Let's go. Hey everybody, jblader here, back again with episode 2 on the OlympusCraft server. We've got a ton of people online today recording, and remember to check out their channels. The links are in the description. I'm just doing a little bit of exploring because there's tons of new biomes that we can check out, and some of these biomes are going to have resources that are unique to said biome. Like these, look at this, red leaves in this biome, really cool. Of course, this is the the biomes you'll go pack, and if you want to look that up, you can look it up and see all the biomes in it. I'm going to do a little bit of exploring and a little bit of resource gathering. I find that these surface caves is a great way to get copper and iron, both of which are good for various reasons. Copper is a great building block, actually, and I also need iron. Well, when do you not need iron? Iron is just so useful for so many things. Ooh, coal. Always could use that too. And it gives XP. So we're going to do some resource collecting. I'm going to run around and explore and do resource collecting for, let's set a timer for an hour, and when I come back, hopefully I'll have something exciting to show. I explored for an hour and we managed to get some more diamonds, which is really exciting. But I realized something really quickly, and that is the inventory management is tough. With all the new items and blocks and foods, your inventory just fills up so fast. So we are going to make a backpack. The standard traveler's backpack is pretty easy to make. We need 2 of these tanks, we need a sleeping bag, we need some gold, a chest, and leather, and that should be it. Let's give this a shot. There we go. We got the standard traveler's backpack. Now, I actually have no idea what this thing does, so let's take a look. We can put water in it. There's an upgrade slot. There's a crafting grid slot, so we always have a crafting table on us. And then these little shortcuts can move items from our inventory to our backpack, and this sorts it. Okay, so here are the upgrades that we're going to want to apply to our leather backpack in order to get things going. So we're going to need iron, gold, and diamonds, and blank upgrades, which are just chest, leather, and more tanks. Easy enough, we can definitely do that. Code doesn't want anyone sleeping. I'm just taking these guys for a walk real quick. Skulk Smite. That's new. A 30-minute exploration setting, and I grabbed a bunch of raw material that is going to be used in building at some point. Also picked up a bunch of new crops, some wood, and general stuff that I use for landscaping, like coarse dirt and rooted dirt. The backpack is a lifesaver. This thing, look, if you're playing this pack, if you have it, get the backpack early. It helps so much. I need to do a little bit more resource gathering, and then we are going to talk about the building theme that I'm starting in today's episode. Here's a few clips of me getting some resources together, went mining again, did a bunch of planting of crops, harvesting. There's a lot of stuff like this that happens in early episodes of Minecraft series that you usually just don't see. Anyway, we got all of that done and I've been working on getting some better gear, but today I want to focus on some building plans for the rest of this episode of what I would like to do. Inspiration struck me when I was looking through some old photos of prairie buildings and the idea of manifest destiny, this idea of land like this, wide open land with wild animals being claimed by settlers, most of the time by, Americans moving west in the manifest destiny time period, and, them building things, making railroads, settling, turning unkempt land into a civilization. And I think that we can use this space as our own manifest destiny spot. I can see some buildings here, a train station, some facaded, front buildings like a general store, a post office. Yeah, I think there's some potential to do stuff here. But first things first, we are going to build a house that is going to sit here and house maybe the enchanting table and some storage and some furnaces for a while. The tough part is that we're going to quickly outgrow it, but let's get started doing some building. I found the inspiration for this build based on a picture of a house I found in real life. It is an 1880s two-story rancher. It is a huge house with 2 fireplaces, so it's got 2 chimneys. It's going to have kind of a typical 245-degree angled roof with a few perches out on the backs for windows. It's also going to have 2 additions, one on each side of the house, which is pretty common to do on older houses. It's going to have kind of a small column entrance out front, and tons of windows on the side for natural lighting to look in. I'm also doing a lot of landscaping, which I think really brings the whole build together. On the back, next to the addition, it is framed up with some lattice work and a small porch that is kind of on the back using some spruce trapdoors. As far as the landscaping, we've got some overgrown bushes going all the way around with a cobblestone and stone path that circles the entirety of the house. This is what 8 hours of work in Minecraft looks like. It may not seem like a lot, but trust me, the amount of resources I had to, grab to do this thing takes a long time. So let me show you some of the resources that I gathered, how I use them, and I'll walk you a little bit through the process. So if you saw the picture, you'll probably know that I wanted the bottom of this to look a little dirtier, as if maybe there's some mold and the moss is overgrowing it, and the dirt is all around the bottom, and it gets cleaner on the way up. So I found this nice gradient of block using an aspen log, which was kind of native to one of the biomes near me, and then using diorite and then eventually birch, we're able to create this kind of gradient that goes up the sides of the building. I think it's easiest to see here. By the time we get to the second story, it is mostly birch logs. And I also thought that the, side-to-side horizontal lines kind of look like siding in a house too, so I thought that was perfect. We're using some chisel blocks or some create blocks like the diorite pillar here, some of the cut diorite stairs and walls like we're using here. And then we're also using lattice, which is really fun. It's kind of like a trapdoor, so this could be super vanilla friendly too. Here on the back, we've got the porch and a ton of moss blocks. Not only that, we also have surface moss, but I'm using some different color kind of gradients, again, going from like a white to a kind of muted green to a gray green all the way to green. So as if there's moss here and it is growing out into the building. Rhyolite is also a new block that is in the Twigs mod pack that we're using, but I just thought it looked a lot like shutters. If you're building this in survival, almost all of this could be very similar, if not the same. You could start with birch and diorite and go up to something cleaner like wool or quartz. And I think greenery like this really brings the whole build together. This is the addition. We've got some lattice. Again, we've got some moss that's kind of overtaking and overgrowing. And it is, this addition is quickly deteriorating. Unlike the rest of the house, this one has not been taken very great care of. I think builds like this are only as good as the landscaping. And so for the landscaping, I went kind of crazy with the bushes like you see here and the walls. So a lot of dimension to them. We re-added the prairie grass. We've got dirt, moss, rocky dirt, diorite that is transitioning into a walkway. The walkway is primarily, stone, cobblestone, andesite, some cobble, some mossy cobble, mossy stone bricks, and then it eventually breaks down into gravel, into rocky dirt, into coarse dirt, and then eventually dirt and grass. So it's a nice way to kind of reintroduce something that maybe is a little bit more realistic in real life, rather than just having a starch like, okay, these blocks are all going to be cobblestone and then grass, right? If you kind of do gradients like this, especially on a large scale like this, I think it just works really great and you get a very realistic feel. But let's go inside. The inside, there's nothing. Yeah, the inside's not done at all. I haven't put any effort in the inside, and that's what we're going to work on some in the next episode. I've actually had some creeper explosions around here, so we're also going to work on lighting some of this area up and playing around with a few mods to do the trick. My tools are also dying really quickly, but we're going to play around with that stuff in the next episode too. I've just spent way too long building this building, but I am so pleased with how it turned out. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a thumbs up. It helps me know that I'm making something that people want to see and that people are enjoying. I sure am enjoying this build. I think that it is a great start to our base here. I think it fits in great with the surroundings we've got, and I'm excited to continue working here on the base on the Olympus Craft SMP. Catch you guys next time.